This story question is near the beginning of the section, so we should assume that it's probably on the easier side. There's not going to be a whole lot to interpret, but we really want to make sure we follow whatever instructions are here because the mistakes are kind of easy to make if we're not paying attention. So just take it one piece at a time here. On Saturday afternoon, Armand sent M text messages each hour for 5 hours. Right? So those two things are kind of interrelated. M text messages each hour for 5 hours, right? So look at choice D here. That's clearly wrong. It's mixing the 4 that we're going to see later in the question with the M, and so there you go. That's mixing the bad stuff. So if we follow instructions, we would see that that's wrong, and that the M is going to somehow be with the 5, or maybe it gets mixed in A and B. But let's keep going. Tyrone sent P text messages each hour for 4 hours, so the P goes with the 4, which, there you go, choice C has that. Which of the following represents the total number of messages sent by Armand and Tyrone on Saturday afternoon? Well, when we have a rate, like, for each hour for 5 hours, that usually means multiplication in math, right? If he sent 2 texts each hour for 5 hours, then we would multiply 2 times 5 and get 10. So if you have trouble understanding the words when there's like a variable, just pick a number for a second and try to understand, like, well, what would you do if you had a number of text messages? So that can help you. That tells us that we're going to multiply, and then there is one other operation here. When we talk about the total number of messages, that kind of sounds like a sum or addition. And so that's another part of choice C, and that is the right answer here. So A and B are violating some rules of algebra here. For B, we're multiplying everything together, and that's not really how we find a sum. But also in choice A, we couldn't add these two things together, right? Because these are not like terms, right? The M and the P, they have to stay separate. So we're just not allowed to add those things together. That's a very common algebra rule. And so hopefully you would just see that once you kind of got choice C, you would be like, oh, no, those things stay separate. But most of the story questions on the SAT, including in the harder part of the test, are really just about following instructions. You're not expected to just instantly know what this situation is telling you to do. You just need to take it one step at a time and kind of build the equation as best you can. And if you take it one step at a time, you're less likely to make a mistake.